Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. In the last few minutes, it has been confirmed that the Duke of Edinburgh has been involved in a car accident near the Sandringham estate in Norfolk this afternoon. Prince Philip, who is 97, is not injured, according to Buckingham Palace. Our royal correspondent Nick Witchell is with me now with all the latest. And tell us what we know, Nick.
The first thing I suppose, Sophie, to say is that Buckingham Palace are emphatic that the Duke has not been injured. He's back at Sandringham House. He's seen a doctor there who has confirmed that he has suffered no injuries. This happened at about 3:30 this afternoon on the A149, close to the Sandringham estate at a place called Babingley Crossroads. As we understand it, the Duke, who was driving himself the Range Rover, was pulling out of a driveway when there was a road traffic accident involving another vehicle. According to eyewitnesses, the Range Rover that the Duke was driving turned over. Now, according to the eyewitnesses who were at the scene, they helped him out of the vehicle. According to an eyewitness, the Duke was conscious, but he was very, very shocked and shaken. Police and ambulance attended, and according to reports from the Norfolk police, 2 people in the other vehicle were treated for minor injuries. The Duke, as I say, has returned to Sandringham Estate, where he's been seen by a doctor. The Queen, of course, is at Sandringham, and there are no reports of any further injuries, no further difficulties as a result of this. But by all accounts, a nasty accident. If the vehicle, a heavy vehicle like a Range Rover, was turned over as a consequence of it, and pretty remarkable. I mean, the Duke, 5 months short of his 98th birthday, people may be rather surprised that he himself was driving this vehicle on a public road, or turning onto a public road as we understand it, but he has suffered no injuries.
Indeed,
according to the palace.
An eyewitness did call the BBC shortly after the accident and said that they had seen the Duke looking very, very shaken, but he had walked away and got into another vehicle. But he is regularly seen, isn't he, at Sandringham driving around? Yeah,
he is, and I suspect it would be quite a battle to persuade him to give up driving. He drives at Windsor and he drives at Sandringham. He's also been seen and photographed driving carriages, you know, the horse-drawn carriages that, of course, is one of his passions. But although we haven't seen him in public, he didn't attend church on Christmas Day. He wasn't at the Remembrance Day services, of course. The last time we really saw him in public was at Eugenie's wedding. That's, 3 months ago. We recall that although he had the hip replacement operation in April of last year, his health, for someone who, as I say, is 5 months short of his 98th birthday, is remarkably robust and continues to be robust. He retired from active solo engagements in August of, not last year, 2017. So he's been sort of in semi-retirement now for, 18 months.
But we're seeing pictures now of the Range Rover being taken away. It was on its side. I mean, he's extraordinarily lucky, as Buckingham Palace say, not to have suffered any serious injuries.
Well, I think that's a perfectly reasonable assumption, a surmise to make. Yes, you've got a vehicle. I mean, clearly if he was just turning onto the road, there was no velocity, there was no speed on the part of the Range Rover, but presumably the other vehicle that was involved in this collision was travelling at some sort of speed. I suppose the question arises of whether drivers were taking due care and attention and all that sort of thing, but that's a matter for Norfolk Police.
OK, well, Nick, this is, as we say, a breaking story. We'll come back to you later in the programme if you have any more for us. Thank you very much.